And sir,
So,
one question, sir.
yeah.
Sir, suppose in the 78th line, we are actually galloping two characters, and since we are getting this HLOWRD, because since we are galloping 78, sir, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
we are galloping actually two characters, right? But and that process is starting from the first character itself.
Yes.
That means age. So, sir, if we want to do it from the second character, that means is that possible, sir?
What is your question? You are trying.
Sir, yes, from E and galloping one or two characters.
Yes, that is also
How can we
possible.
do that?
For that, you need to modify that code. It is not so, means using this syntax, it is not easy to do that, but you need to write some more logic. You need to specify that from where you want to start, and then you need to use this thing. Okay. Suppose you want to, you don't want to print this age letter, right? So you are trying to omit that part. So you can take that sequence first, and then you can follow this rule that from start from here, and then you do that, and then concatenate age. Okay. So that kind of logic you need to apply for doing that thing. This is for simple way how you can set the step size here in this example that is given. But to modify that thing, that where from you will start, so that you need to add some more line before that. Okay.
Sir, if we add a space before age, and
yes.
then I think, sir, the age letter won't appear. It will directly start from E.
Yeah, but you cannot change that particular input. Okay, that is the wrong practice. You cannot put one space there and then follow the rule. Yes, it will work, but that is not the case, because you cannot change your input, right? Input is fixed. All right. Manually you can do that. You can check that yes, it is coming, but you cannot change the input sequence. That is wrong practice. So now this is very much important, because in many cases you will find that you reverse the DNA sequence or reverse the protein sequences. Basically, DNA sequence or RNA sequence is used. So in that case, you can use this syntax to reverse the string colon -1. So it will take from the back side and it will move on to the front end. That's all. It will print as it is. Okay. Then we are moving to one small thing, that we cannot modify that particular position element. Say for example, if it is hello world, and now I want to change this age to X. So you may think that, okay, so if I write S of 0, that is the index position 0, that is age, and you are manually you are making this as X. You are trying to do that. Now check what will happen. It is saying that string object does not support item assignment. So that means once a string is created, it cannot be mutated. That is the property. That is the property known as immutability. Okay, string property. You cannot modify the string on the fly. You cannot modify these elements of the string when it is created. Okay. Now, second point is you can concatenate some string, like this is the hello world. Now concatenate string. So that means S plus concatenate me. You want to concatenate this, what? Concatenate means add, addition. So if you write this, so you can see that hello world, after that one space is there, and concatenate means. Very easy. Suppose you are given two DNA sequences. Okay. Suppose I'm taking that example. DNA 1 is ATGC, and DNA 2 is GG. Okay. Now you want to concatenate these two sequence. So what you will do? You can take one DNA and you can write simply DNA1 plus that plus operator will take the two sequences at a stretch and it will give you the entire string. Very easy to concatenate. Any doubt, any question? No? I think this is very easy. Okay, how you can add some sequences. So if there are 10 pieces of DNA, so you just add plus 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 symbol and it will be concatenated. No problem. Okay, so then you can multiply this letter also. Suppose you want to print some 10 times this ES word. So you can do it by using multiplication symbol. So continuously it will print the ES letter 10 times. Now we are moving to string part, uppercase or lowercase if you want to modify this thing. So this is known as method. Okay. Are you following? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
So suppose you want to, one string is given, that is this one. Yes. Now you can see that there are mixed up of cases. So some cases, some letters are in capital letter H and W, and some are in small letter, right? Now think about if you are given a DNA sequence or a protein sequence and you found this kind of mixed up is there, because every time the data is not in good quality, sometimes this kind of errors happens. So then what you need to do, you need to minimize that error. How you can do that? Either you will make it uppercase, all the letter uppercase, or you can make it lowercase, right? So to do that, you may use this small syntax, that is a method. So method, basically what is method? Method is already written program. So for simplicity, you are using upper, but already there is 5 to 6 line code to make this uppercase, to make this thing in uppercase. So what is the syntax for using this method? So you write this object name, then dot, then the method name and the parentheses. Okay. And if there is any parameter, so you can write the parameter within that parenthesis. Now we are taking the simple cases. Say for example, we just want to do this hello world in uppercase. So we will write this object name is AS, that is the variable name AS dot upper, and you will find that it is there. Then you are writing S dot lower. So obviously it is in lower case. Okay. Now another method is split. Now, if you write split, and by default, this will go to find out one space, blank space, and will split from there. Okay. So I'm running this. So you can see that by default, this string is split out into two words, hello and world, and this is inside a list. So first we will cover the list and then again we will come back to this split. Okay, how we can use this split. Okay, so try to solve this problem in your home. That what will be there inside this third bracket to print this line. So please note, take a screenshot or whatever possible. So you do it. What will be there inside this third bracket to get the output as updated string hello Python? Okay, is it clear what to do?
So can you please repeat how the concatenate string was made?
Concatenation is very easy. You just need to use one plus symbol. This one. So suppose there are two strings, ATGC and GGG. You are storing that string into two different variables, and now you are using the concatenation operator, that is plus symbol, DNA1 plus DNA2, and you are storing that thing into another variable, DNA. And print that. That's so simple. Okay. Who asked that? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now you can practice this thing at your home. Now next thing is, suppose you want to replace something, because you know from to make the RNA sequence from a DNA, what you need to change, you need to replace the T by U. This is a very basic knowledge. RNA will not contain U, but you cannot do it by this method, because that will not work. You see, you cannot change these things using the index, because the string is once prepared or created, it cannot be modified. So what you can do, that you can use one method, that is the replace method. This is a very useful method. Suppose the DNA sequence is given TTG CTAG, and you want to replace these T's with U. So what you can do, what you will try, so forget about that first. You will write DNA set, that is the variable name, dot replace, that is the method name. Now that's the nucleotide which need to be replaced first, and after comma, by which nucleotide it will be replaced. Okay, so that will work, but you need another variable to store that. So that's why it is taken mRNA. That is another variable where that will be stored. Okay, and we are printing that variable. Why I am doing so? Because see, if you are just trying to do this, what you are getting? You are getting this thing, no issue, right? But using this quotes, so this quote should not be there, and that's why you are putting this and you are printing this. So then, if you print this, that quote will not be there. This is the better practice. Okay. Similarly, you can count this. These are very related examples, and I'll end this thing over here, because some more thing. So count, I just forward this. Suppose you want to calculate how many G are there or how many C are there in this sequence. So manually you can do that, but if the sequence is 1,000 or so, 1,000 nucleotides long, so you cannot do it manually. If you use this method, it will be easier. Dot count, this is the method name, count, and the DNSSEC is already there, this one, this variable you are taking. And within quotes, what need to be counted, that is placed under double quote, C. Similarly, here you are counting G and it is stored in small g. Now you can calculate that thing, how many C and G are there, so you can use the addition thing, C plus G, and you are, as you are trying to fetch the percentage, so obviously you need to divide that thing by total DNA length multiplied by 100. So I have given this thing and I am getting this thing.
Sir, please repeat once, sir.
Which one?
Last one.
This one, count thing.
No,
Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is very easy. See, you want to count how many C and how many G are there in this DNA sequence. So you want to use count method, dot count method. So you are putting the variable name, that is DNA set. After that, dot count, and within the parentheses, what you are doing means which nucleotide you want to count. If you are counting C, so place that thing C, and the output, the result will be stored in a variable small c here in the left hand side. Similarly, if you are counting G, so you put G here and store it in a variable G. Okay, so then write C or print C or print G, you will find that these are the output, because C, how many times C is there? Only one C, so it is printing one. How many times G is there? 1, 2, 2. And this is a very basic formula calculation. C plus G divided by length of DNA seq. So DNA seq, what is the length of DNA seq? So you can store it in another variable also, that is length of DNA, that is length DNA seq. You can use that thing here also, length of DNA. The same thing. Now, why you are using float? Because by default, it is also taking the float value. You can check that this is the float value. But sometimes some problem may occur, so it is given that output may be in float number, because you are dividing something divided by something and then multiplying with 100, so that becomes a floating value. So that's why you are using it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So next I will stop. But before that, I just want to mention that the home task is given to you. The first 3 problems were easy, and the next problems were using the user input, right? So how you can interact with this prompt. So check this thing, how we can take some input from our keyboard, because every time when you are using Google search box, okay, so you will see one search box is there, you type something, and then when you are pressing enter, it is working. So just like that, you want to take your name in some as in, so what you can do, you can directly write input, enter your name, okay, and that will be that you store in the variable name as name. So just I'm running this. Okay, so now you can see that it is printing this line, printing this string, enter your first name, and then there is a box created, because when you are using ideally or so, you will find that one prompt is asking you to input that thing. Okay, so now you are inserting something and pressing enter, so it is taken, the input is taken. Now you can print that thing, because you need to print that thing. This is not your objective is to print the input. So then you write print your name is plus name. So this is the printing format, nothing else. So you are printing name. This is the name variable. Okay, you'll find that your name is this, whatever you gave as input. So by that way, just follow the questions given there. Suppose it is given that user will give the input of the base and height of a triangle and then calculate the area of the triangle. So then you need to specify this thing. So length equal to input, enter the length. Okay. Similarly, base equal to input, enter the base. And then you use the calculation next time and print the output. You calculate that thing, store it in variable and print that thing. Okay. So by that way, you can complete the task. I think there is nothing else in that particular home task. All right. So don't worry about this formatting, because formatting is not necessary right now, but you can use in your own way. No problem. There are multiple ways to use this formatting or print statement. So we'll see if sometimes we get in future. Okay. Okay. So user input I completed. And do you have any question? Because now I will close this session because already it is 10:35. So if there are no more questions, I will end this session. Okay. So then bye now, and we'll meet again the next week. And I will give you more home tasks based on this. Okay. And then bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.